Say something.
Something.
Okay.
Oh, you
Okay.
wanted to elaborate?
Yeah, I see how it works. Okay, people, welcome to my special Sunset Sunday with a panel of some of my business and friends we're doing today. Everybody knows. I just found out here in Columbus, everybody knows what's going on with this pandemic virus thing and the mess that's going on around the country. What's happening in Columbus just came on by our governor. All bars and restaurants except delivery services are closed as of 9 o'clock tonight. So this is what this talking point is going to be about. Why, those people who are going to be affected by this situation, and that's the only way they have a way to make money, through working as a bartender, working as a restaurateur, server, whatever. We want to educate, and this is one of the things I did. For those who don't know me, my name is Greg Smith. I've been online marketer for since 2009, 2010. Been in the industry a while. Just been learning about marketing since the internet and stuff. So if you don't know me, that's what I've been doing. I have this show every Sunday since 2016. I've had this show. And it's called Sunset Sundays. I've had a different one called Walk and Run. I had that once also. That was in about 2016, 2015, around those times. I want to introduce you a friend of mine, guest panel on my Sunset Sundays. I haven't done this in a while. Introduce yourself, Kent.
Hey, everybody. This is Kent Robertson, and I'm business partner with Greg, and my business is Robertson Unlimited. And I've been, like Greg, I've been doing network marketing for roughly about, since 2007, I believe, since 2007.
Yeah, that's when we met.
Yeah. So I've been doing this for a while with Greg, learning to unlearn some things that I've learned in the marketing business, and with this situation today, we hope to shed some light on what you can be doing in circumstances like these. Now, no one expects to have a pandemic every year or anything like that, but the market is in a way that, for those of you who don't have a supplemental income or secondary income, things are gonna hit, and they may hit hard. So that's what we're gonna expand on.
So you work too in a call center, right? As your first income job.
Yes.
Now, have you got
that's the gig that pays the bills?
Okay. And there's plenty of people out here that are in that situation. And the whole purpose of this panel talk tonight on my Sunset Sunday show is to give people insight on those who work in that industry. And, they're talking about social distancing. And in a call center, some of them are, y'all packed in there together. I've been there, done that. Okay. And with that being said, what have you heard, or have you heard anything about what are they going to do with your job? Or they furloughing you, or they're going to get you to work from home, or what?
Well, we haven't heard anything officially as of yet, but I have the suspicion, because I was just asked this by my immediate supervisor about a week and a half ago. And she says, Ken, I just need to know, do you have high-speed internet in your home? I was like, yes, I do. I thought it was kind of an odd question to ask around, this time frame. But I said, yes, I do. And she said, okay, thank you. And then about just on was it no, this past Tuesday, did I have, any phone hookups available? So she
Mhm.
hasn't said anything, and maybe it's because she can't, she has to do it piecemeal. But I found out through my other coworkers, they asked the same thing. So I'm thinking, and this is just me speculating, but I'm thinking we may be working from home within the next within the next few months or so. It could be next fall for all I know. But
Oh, okay.
it
Well, I
sounds
was
like it sounds like that premise is being set up for that.
okay. Didn't know if that was because of what happening with this
Now that
situation.
I don't know. That I don't know. That might have been something that was set up for when once the year started. That I don't
Oh, okay. Because I
know.
know some people I know that work for the state right now. A
Yeah.
friend of
Hmm.
mine, Tanya, she's she's an inspector to all the what do you call those things? The not the play centers or whatever you want to call those. She inspects those, and
Oh yeah, distribute those distribution centers you're talking about.
no, they're like the what do you call those? You take your kids to them. I can't think of them right now. Well, she inspects those, but right now since the governor's called, people not to be crowded and no distancing. Um, I think she's starting to, they've implemented to work from home for her because some
Okay.
things weren't necessary for them. They changing some things that they need to be doing. So,
Right.
and with that being said, there's a lot of people that are in that situation and need to, you know, think about that. I know everybody's job is not going to get them to, or able them to be able to work from home. But if that's the case, and if this situation, I've been hearing some things that this might last 6 months. Okay.
I've, I've
You
heard
talking
that
about
too.
the summer's blown.
Right.
Okay, my,
Exactly.
my my thing, summer's blown. So
Hmm.
if you're in a situation with being a server in a bar and stuff, if you're in that and they just implemented closing them now, all I heard they were closing them tonight at 9. Now I don't know if that means until this thing blows over or what. I'm not sure. I don't heard the back end of it, but with that being said, you're talking about bars, dance places, restaurants, sit down restaurants, and those people that work in those type of industries are going to be affected. So what
Right.
we're saying to them is that you need some kind of alternative way of making money without having to be all up in front of everybody. Did you get the um, email from the Jaeger group about they're changing all the meetings?
Yeah, I got that a couple of days ago.
Okay, I did too. I did
Yeah.
too. So I was just wondering if you got that because
Yeah.
that's part of all that different things that are happening with this pandemic, and it's causing some different way of life than most of us are now. We're used to different disruptions in industries, you know, but this is a different animal we're going to deal with. Now, I've always said it didn't take to build any business today, you had to be belly to belly. Now, with this pandemic, people are going to be forced to use technology if they want to stay in business. You agree
Exactly.
with me or not?
Exactly. Exactly. This is going to be a new normal to quite a few people.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's going to be a new normal because most folks. I know some people, like you do, whose job is they travel, you know,
Yeah.
and they have to be in a certain spot. But now with this going on, they're going to have to rely more on technology to to do whatever they need to do as far as their job's concerned.
Yeah, it's crazy how that is. Yeah, nobody was expecting this. Not even me. I just found out on MSNBC. Now, it's crazy, but when what was her name? Shelley Jackson. She's a congresswoman of Texas.
Okay.
She said government knew about this stuff back in November. So it makes you wonder, let's be real, we can't sit up here and depend on government for a lot of different things anymore. We shouldn't have been doing it in the first place. Now, today, with this going on, maybe this is a wake-up call for everybody in direct sales industry, all this stuff. You always hear that you can't do this in direct sales because it's not duplicatable. I don't agree with that. Never did. You teach somebody to fish, it can be duplicatable. That's only if they choose it to be. See, duplication can be done if you choose to duplicate it. Okay.
Right.
I hear people saying, well, everybody don't have the skill set to do online marketing or whatever. Everybody can learn the skill set to do what we do. It's just that there's people that choose not to.
Right.
And maybe they shouldn't.
Right. And coming from a person who works a regular 40-hour a week, job, I get it. When you get home, and especially if you have a family at home, you gotta look out for it. You gotta look out for your kids, or look out for your spouse, so forth and so on. But it's there's no. I have to come to it from the standpoint that you don't know if that, because we're a performance-based economy right now.
No kidding.
And you have to perform at a certain level. If you're slack off, that means your paycheck is gonna be reduced. And if it hasn't improved, or if it's not to the company's liking, then all bets are off at that point. So and that's what's keeping me going. You got to come from that perspective. That job isn't guaranteed.
And with what's happening now, we know none of them are guaranteed. We don't know what's going to happen in the next few months. We don't know how long all this is going to last, because U.S. is behind in testing, okay? With all this separation of being close to people, social separation, all this kind of stuff, it's affecting every part of our lives, okay? If that's the case, look what we're heading here, especially in Columbus. We're heading into what we call, festival season. Okay, we're halfway through March.
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
Festival season. We start out the summer season with Asian Festival, Memorial Day. Is that going to happen? We don't know. Okay. We got a lot of festivals that are happening, and a lot of them were booked usually a year in advance. Okay. They got to book this year. We got Arts Festival. We got Jazz and Riz Festival. We got Festival Latino. All these festivals that were booked a year ahead with schedules and everything, great deal of money is going to be lost. And yes, it's going to affect the economy. So with that being said, some of these people that depend on these type of things, especially maybe at this time of year, are going to lose out, because we do not know what's going to happen. So our whole purpose with this panel, this talk tonight, is to give people insight of, since we're going to have all this social separation, technology is going to be essential for your economic survival in an economy that's being changed because of a pandemic virus. What happens if, I've always said this too, what happens if, weather changes, okay, weather type stuff. Granted, we didn't have a hard winter this year, okay, and I've always said there should be always a way for kids in school to still be in school by using online learning. They shouldn't have to worry about trudging through that stuff, snow, ice, or whatever. If it's too bad to be out going to school, they need to switch everything to online. that stop all that stuff. But we always got these people saying, well, that costs too much. What's going to cost you more if you're doing opening schools longer than they need to, and they're out, and then you don't have this and that. So why don't you spend the money to curtail certain things,
Right.
and for the long haul?
And you know, here in Ohio, the governor just said that the school year may be shut down.
Yeah, for the rest of the year.
For the rest of the year.
So that's going to affect a lot of things. And if why not implement the online learning technologies like what we're doing right now? Okay. My aunt was talking about, you know, she was talking to somebody, and she has Zoom. My aunt in DC, she uses Zoom. She has a conference, I guess, level of Zoom. So
okay.
Right now, I mean, technology is where it's going to help you stay connected with people. You know, yes, we are a people that needs to have interaction, but when you're in a pandemic situation, the only way that you're going to really be able to stay or should stay connected with people is through this type of technology. So you don't feel like a shut in or whatever. You can talk to friends across the ocean or on the other side of the country or whatever you need to do that. This technology today allows you to do it. Before, all we had was a phone. Okay, we've always had technology. Now we have technology that allows you to interact visually. No, we don't have the high touch. We got a lot of high tech. And high tech is better than no visual tech, because we don't, like I said, we don't know how long this is going to last. We just don't know. And the people who keep saying that, oh, everybody can't do this. Well, everybody can do this if they choose to. They said everybody shouldn't go to college. They probably are right. And you notice, and I'm probably going to step on some people's feet with this, that folks, remember the time everybody didn't go to college? People had, I guess, what was they called, those well, they had maybe 2-year colleges. A lot of people didn't go 4-year colleges and stuff. Okay. Anytime, anytime you seem like we've used this word, saturate a market with people, with everybody and anybody, it devalues the market. If you think about it, okay? Think about cruise ships, okay? Cruise ships having all these people from everywhere coming on, people falling off cruise ships. You got listeria outbreaks on them. 20 years ago, when I went on some cruises, you didn't hear nothing about that. In the last 15 to 20 years, they didn't let anybody on the cruise ship, where before certain people only could go because they could only afford it. Certain people could afford it because it was a little bit expensive. Now anybody's on that. Look what we got a problem with. Okay. Besides what's happening now, we've had outbreaks on cruise ships before. Okay. Whether when I had gone on, you didn't hear nothing about stuff like that. Last cruise ship I went on was the Millennial one, 1999, 2000. You hear stuff about that stuff now. Okay, it seems like every other month somebody on a cruise ship getting sick, falling off, something. So I don't know, maybe everybody shouldn't try to be online. I mean, I don't know, but it's good to give people an insight that there is a access, alternative way to make money besides having to get up and go to work till 9 to 5. Remember Scott Michael used to say, Scott Michael? Scott and MJ Michael? They used to say, Scott Michael used to say, the reason I got into network marketing was because I wanted to sleep until I was done. He said it's unnatural for a person to have to wake up to an alarm clock. I had to agree. I didn't get in this to have another job. I get into this to sleep till I'm done, do what I want to do, when I want to do it, And this is where this is where I want to get people to understand there's a difference between running a home-based business and a work from home type of situation. They're both good in a sense. You don't have to be into the traffic commuting. You just roll out your bed and roll into your office. But at the same time, you are still under the mandate of that company, that boss,
Exactly.
or whoever you are working for, because you are working for that company. You just at home.
And that's a dynamic that if this happens with my job, I'm gonna have to bite my tongue, because, well, you know, when you're at home, you can do and say whatever you want to say in the privacy of your own home.
Mm-hmm.
But if this happens the way I think it's going to happen, and I decide to, well, yes, I'll go ahead and do the work from home, I'm still under that company's guidelines and procedures for that time, that even though I'm at home, I'm still on their schedule until I take that last call.
Right. And it's almost like you're I don't know if it's worse, because you're like a prisoner in your own home.
Yeah.
Dictate when you can go to the bathroom in your own home. It's gonna dictate when you can go eat in your own home. So is it, I mean, the only good thing about working from home in that aspect is that you are at home and you don't have to commute.
Right. You don't have to dress
Traffic.
up.
In
Yeah.
Columbus, Ohio's traffic has quadrupled in the last 10, 20 years. So, you know, yeah, that's the advantage of that. But the big advantage of is calling your own shots, doing what you want to do, how you want to do it, when you want to do it. If you want to go to lunch with some friends, when you want to go, you can go. No, that's my whole thing about developing online business, because I got tired of being somebody, you know, I got tired of the boss thing. You know, and you know, when I'm a product of working where we worked at, what is called Spectrum. Now, you know, Time Warner is called Spectrum. So that I was like, my last call center job. Let's see, what was my last call center job? Well,
no, it wasn't. Okay.
Actually, it was Molina, but then I worked at Alliance Data for 3 months.
Okay.
And I'm not that micromanaged type dude, okay? Especially not from them damn millennial. I just ain't with it, okay? Dude still had milk on his lips. He gonna try to tell me something. No, I said, look, let me get out of here before I show you something you ain't gonna want to see. Okay? So that's why I got out of there. And then my last call center job, and this was kind of stupid. Okay, I'm bilingual. We were working as a customer service rep for people's accounts, trying to help them. Okay, we had Spanish accounts and everything. The biggest problem was they had nobody, no managers. Say for instance, a manager wants a account or customer want to talk to somebody, one of the managers that spoke Spanish. All the Spanish speaking people were in Miami. They had no managers in the office. They didn't want to talk to me because I wasn't a manager. But I'm the only one, or so a few of us, that was speaking Spanish. So I'm like, what are we supposed to do? First week this happened, okay? It's those kind of stupid things that I'm talking about. Let me see what's going on. Okay, yeah, Drew is trying to get on here, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Let me see. First time I'm trying to with panels and stuff, so we'll see how this works. All right, let me see something. I know I sent him the link. Okay, let me do this. Copy. All right, what the heck is going on here? Okay, I can't get the link in here. Okay, there it is. Okay, sent him the link. So,
Okay.
yeah, it's just crazy how, that was just, I said, no, I can't do this no more. And then I don't, I come to the conclusion that there's no way I want to sit 8 hours talking to some people. And the older I get, I'll be 61 years old in May. I ain't with talking to all these dumb folks. There's too many. The older I get, it seems like the lack of common sense a lot of people have. I don't know. That's just what's happening. And they say you should get, when you get older, you should have more patience. No, mine's gotten less. And it may be because of stuff that I know, and you wonder how come more of the masses don't know. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
It doesn't make a lot of sense that they don't. You need to understand that we are out of the industrial age. We're in the digital age of business. All that.
Right, right. And I think part of the way the market got flipped, because when the president said he was going to get a proposal to stimulate the economy by doing a payroll tax. I mean, that's all well and fine, and he said it will go to the small business owners, but I somebody should have advised him that small business owners are pretty much it's a service economy now. It's not that industrial economy that it was even in 2008 when Barack Obama did the bailout. That was different because it was manufacturing. But this is more and more a service economy now, and that, I mean, it's good for the small business owners, but they still need people in the seats to where their restaurants and establishments are, in order for them to get that income generated. So because if it's a small business loan, they're going to have to pay that loan back.
Yeah, yeah. Well, he just asked me where I send the link. It's just in the messenger, dude. Okay, there it is. What's going on? I don't know what's going on. Okay, I just sent a try. Well, remember back 2010. Remember this book, Paul Zane Pilsner's book, The Next Millionaire?
Right.
He talked about what was going to be happening in the next 10 years. He talked about this in 2010. He said, the internet, social media has changed the dynamics of how we interact, do business with each other. And he said, what's going to affect big business is that what's going to be developed in the next 10 years is more and more software tools are going to be developed for as they call the solopreneur or the digital entrepreneur or the mompreneur. Okay. Mm-hmm. And what was going to happen was that most people that took a hold of this will take advantage, will be above the curve because of the way the economy is going to change. Okay, what did you say? Where's the zoom in? Right. I saw him. He said it's gonna change the way we do business. Let me see if I can send him. Uh, he asked me where's the invite, and I just sent him this right in the thing. Well, he said all this stuff is gonna affect people from a standpoint of we don't have the solopreneur is not going to have the need for what was it he said they weren't going to have the need for the expenditures that you would have today. Okay, and the expenditures that people have today are all the, let me try to send this to him, all the big business type of stuff that most people have. And he said that what's going to happen is that all people, all we have to do is have a device, either one of these or a laptop or whatever, and moving more mobile and everything. So why, with that being said, this is why we all we have to do is connect and share these tools, these strategies. What is his email? Oh Lord, okay. He said his, okay.
He can't find it.
I sent it to a Yahoo.
Oh, okay.
Let me try this again. Okay, people, we're just trying to do some things here. Let me see. What is that? MREL. Oh, he got Mr. Okay. He changes his email so much.
Oh man.
I can't keep up with him. So let's see. Email. Oh. Let's send that down. And that's what he said, that most people will not have the expenditures and they can start doing this part-time. Okay.
Right.
While they're doing a full-time job and eventually make it full-time. So this is where we're at now in 2020 with all these different software. Look, we got this type of software. We got these streaming softwares, Facebook Lives, all these ways to market to clients all over the world. So it's just, people have not seen, and I don't know why, people have not seen the grasp the type of economy, the type of tools and stuff that are available for people who want to get away from the rat race. They're available. And all you got to do is have, and 90% of people have one of these. A lot of people keep saying, oh, well, everybody don't have the internet. Well, everybody got a cell phone connected to the internet. 90%, look at these kids. What do you see all the time? People doing this on the street. Okay?
Right.
So I don't understand that mentality of people don't have the availability for that kind of stuff. I just don't.
Well, it goes to the premise that people are going to make time, and you and I've said this before. People are going to make time for what they want to make time for, what they feel that is important to them.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's true with anything. That's true with our government. They always talking about they don't have the money for stuff, but then they got money for what they feel is important. So it's not about not having the money. So I was like, let me see if he.
He'll be on soon.
Let me try this one more time. I might have done the wrong, I don't know. Mr. Okay, I sent to the right one. I don't know what the hell. Okay, I sent it again. This is better. But that's what I'm saying. We live in that kind of economy. I don't know why people think, it's available. Everybody walking around with a tool that could change their life. Most people got some kind. They got tablet, they got cell phone, they got desktop, they got all these tools. They can get online and sell anything. Start a business in anything. People were doing it. Hell, you got platforms like Yahoo, and not Yahoo, but YouTube. People making big bucks on those type of things. So why is that everybody thinks that you got to get up, roll out of bed, and commute to a job to be legit? What's up?
Hey, hold on. Let me turn this debate down. What's going on, guys?
No,
besides the coronavirus.
Oh man, that's what we talking about. That's what we talking about.
I hear you and Greg are responsible for this thing.
Man, you ain't supposed to tell nobody about that, man.
Rich. You need me to turn my volume up? Oh.
Oh, what you talking about?
I don't know what you said. I don't know what you said. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Wasn't me.
But dude, what we trying to do? I thought about this for long. Last few weeks, people are talking about how online businesses and this and that. You can't do this and that because it's not legit. And then when this daggone thing hit, everybody's scrambling now.
Yep.
Everybody's scrambling. And I've been saying this for the last 10 years. Okay, even if you work in another job, you better have something that's going to supplement it. We just now, from the governor, everybody that's in the service and bartending jobs, everything's closed. Put the close in a half an hour at 9 o'clock. That means those people are going to suffer. Now, I don't know if that means it's closed indefinitely, but I know he said it's closed. Everybody can be closed tonight. So all my salsa dancing, everything got canceled this week. Everything. But there was one thing, a Puerto Rican thing going on last night. I said, I'm not going. And they still had that. I said, I'll stay my butt home. So, but that's what's going on here. And we're discussing how people need to look at these the online business world, because it's something that, with not needing to be separated from folks, it's harder to do anything together in big crowds with this thing, because we don't know what's going to happen. I've been hearing things that this may go on for 6 months. So I said, okay, that's summer shot. Okay, so we're going into festival season. So that means if that's happening, all the plans that people made for the Latino Rib Fest, Asian Festival, that's shot. And that's going to affect the economy that way.
Let me jump in this.
Okay, that's why
I'm waiting on you. I appreciate you guys waiting on me. Thank you so much for inviting me.
I didn't know if you even got this thing.
Oh yeah, I have Zoom already, so you know.
I mean, I didn't know if you got my invite. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I did, and I had Kevin. You guys know Kevin. I had Kevin over. Okay. And so as soon as Kevin left, then I checked my invite. If I would have known that, I would have had Kevin participate too, and it would have been a force.
And I sent it to your Yahoo. That's the last email I got of you.
Yeah, I thought because you and I have corresponded through Gmail before.
Right, but I didn't. But you got so many daggone. I don't know what to say.
I do. Let me tell you something. I got about 7 or 8 emails, and so he's definitely not lying about that.
So do I. I got Gmail. I got 2.
I got Yahoo. Hotmail. I got AOL. I got Hotmail.
I don't have no AOL.
I have, and remember, I own a bunch of domains, and for about 5 or 6 of my domains.
So do I. I just bought another.
Now, don't get me wrong. I got over 30 domains, so I don't have an email for each one. That's just ridiculous.
Oh no,
But I have the ability to make an email on each one if I want to.
You can buy a domain for 99 cents from
Correct. If you know what you're doing.
Yeah, if you
correct.
know what you're doing.
Now you can't always renew it for 99 cents, but
No,
you can initially
no.
get it for 99.
It's just a start, man.
Definitely.
You just got to get a start on it. That's all.
Correct.
All you
Correct.
got to do.
So I think first of all, guys, I think this is a great idea. We need to kind of give people an idea on what they could be doing during the coronavirus. So let's attack some stuff straight on. This is going to be a scary time for some people.
Yeah,
because Kent, Greg, you know, when you take somebody's job away from them, they might be. All of us want to miss work for 3 days, maybe a week. But some people, in fact, most people are living so check to check.
Mm-hmm.
If they out of work for 2-3 weeks or more, I'm sorry, but some of these people start to turn into savages.
Yeah.
Now we've been in a national state of emergency for only 2 days, and a state emergency maybe 4.5 days.
Right.
And already there are YouTube videos of, I'm talking about in America, where these two women were fighting over toilet paper. The one lady hoarded a shopping cart full of toilet paper, and the other lady was trying to fight her for the toilet paper. And thank goodness for the older elderly lady that two people interceded on her behalf so she can get toilet paper. Now, if I was there, you guys know me. If me or Greg was there, me and Greg would have emptied the whole cart, and the selfish bitch, we would have gave her toilet paper to everybody else in the store. That was just uncalled for. I
just saw Gary Vaynerchuk said this guy bought over about $400 or $500 worth of hand sanitizer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
To
what
resell
he's doing it, and he's reselling
and he's reselling it. And that should be illegal in a time like that.
Yeah, and that's what he said.
You should be arrested. Absolutely. Now's not the time to be an entrepreneur on someone that is the equivalent. Ken, you're driving and a guy gets into a car accident. The car rolls over on him. The other car catches on fire, and it's about 2-3 minutes before his car catches on fire. And Ken has his square. He plugs it into his phone, and he says, if you want me to save your life, I need your card right now, and I need you to swipe $500.
Yeah, it's crazy how people are doing stuff now. Nice. There was something I just saw. Somebody was selling a 4-pack of hand sanitizer for $240.
Yep, and I wouldn't. There's so many other things, guys, that you could be using for hand sanitizer. Yeah. So first of all, you can use regular soap. You can carry liquid soap with you, and a bottle of water in your car. Okay. Yeah. The other thing that you can do, you can take some bleach. We used to do this in hurricanes. Now, in a hurricane, they would say, take 1 drop of bleach and put in the water. Now, you're not drinking this water. This is for hand sanitizer purposes. So if it were me, I'd put about 10 drops of bleach in 1 gallon of water. You know, just so I can, you know, that's a temporary thing because I don't want you using bleach too often. That's just an emergency thing. You can use hydrogen peroxide and spray it on yourself.
Right.
You don't even need to wash your hands with it. You know, with soap, you got to rinse it with water. Hydrogen peroxide, you don't have to. You can use alcohol if you want to.
Right.
Okay. Now, and for surfaces, there are a lot of things that you can use for surfaces. Spick and Span has the thing that kills bacteria. It's a multi-surface cleaner, and so does Formula 409. That they're multi-purpose cleaners, and they clean 99% of the bacteria and germs. So because the Lysol is probably sold out, you can use those 2 things as your multi-surface cleaners.
I have a Lysol.
Here's the thing. You're only going to need hand sanitizer from when you leave your home or when somebody visits your home. When you touch mail or a package, that's it. If you can't trust your own child who has not left the home, your own spouse or parent who have not left the home, shame on you guys. You don't, while you're home, don't use hand sanitizer. Use soap while you're at home.
Yeah.
You only use the hand sanitizer when you're traveling outside of the home or you're entertaining a visitor. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, so unfortunately, people in Ohio, the bread has been bought up, the milk is scarce, the hand sanitizer. I haven't gone to the store today, but it possibly, when I was there 2 days ago, I was buying bleach. I was buying multi-purpose cleaners. Another good one is lemon juice. Get you some lemon juice.
Yeah.
It's not the end all be all, but remember, lemons are acidic. Okay.
Right.
There are where there's a will, there is a way. Remember, even washing powders can be used to wash your hands. Now, I don't say do that all the time, because there are things in washing powders you don't want to absorb in your body. But if it comes a one-time thing in order to avoid contamination, there are soaps that, and remember, here's another one. How about Palmolive and Dawn antibacterial soap?
Yeah, I got some.
Ajax. I'm talking about not the real soap, the dish liquid. A lot of people not even thinking about buying the dish liquids.
Palmolive, just bought some of that.
Correct.
Before all this started to happen.
Correct. Now, generally, I had got a little bit lazy, but generally I keep like a case of toilet paper and different things like that. I bought about 12, what you guys would consider probably double or triple rolls, because I get the ones that have 1,250 sheets on them. But if I would have really been thinking, I would have got about 3 things of toilet rolls, 3 cases just to have, because I was really hoping, hey, this is a 2-3 week thing, if that. But if you guys look at the other countries, and we can't predict everything, but what we can do is report on what we see. And what we see, guys, is Italy is darn near at a point of rioting. That could possibly be our future. In China, the kids can't go anywhere. That could possibly be our future.
But what's happening in China, a lot of that stuff has subsided and moved straight into Europe. And that's where Europe and Italy is the epicenter now.
Well, let's hope if things have subsided in China, let's hope that happens for us. What I'm hoping is that we've seen the worst, and if we haven't seen the worst, that the worst is not quite that bad. Maybe the worst is a lot of people don't have jobs for a month, okay? If that's the worst, if you are an idiot and you're starting to riot only after a month out of work, you deserve the electric chair for stupidity, okay? I'll be honest. If you're already robbing people, not that there's an excuse, but if after 2-3 weeks you're robbing people, you know what I'm saying? You're breaking into cars and houses. I mean, that's really, we're not at that point that martial law needs to be declared or anything like that. What I'm pretty sure is going to happen. If Kent, I attempted to evict Greg right now, and we took him to court, not right this second. Number one, a lot of court may not be in session.
Right.
Number two, when court finally is in session, well, why did Mr. Smith get behind? Well, his daughter was diagnosed with the coronavirus. The other thing is his job was eliminated for 2 months or 3 months because of the coronavirus. What judge in his or her right mind would allow me to evict Greg? You follow where I'm coming from? So instead of panicking, you've already got 2 Democratic nominees right now talking about if they were president, how I think Bernie Sanders talked about, it might have been, no, it was Joe Biden who talked about a stimulus package and a universal wage. And it was Bernie Sanders who said, let's pay these guys immediately. And if you contract the virus, don't worry about it. what we're going to do is if you contract the virus, we're going to just pay all your bills. So they both were coming up with solutions. And I'm pretty sure, even though we have lost a lot of faith in the Trump presidency of what little faith that you may have had, because they eliminated the pandemic organization within the National Security Council, how idiotically they handled this. I'm certain that they're also working on solutions, and that's going to come up if Trump or a Republican is hoping to be reelected or elected. And I say that to say this, for those people watching this, yes, it's a little stressful. Yes, it's a little worrisome, but don't panic. Don't kill yourself. This isn't the Great Depression of the 1930s. We made it through 2 recessions in our modern lifetime since the Great Depression. Okay, we've been through Ebola, we've been through West Nile, we've been through quite a bit of things. Yes, this is unprecedented, but there is absolutely no way, no Congress is not going to give relief to people and businesses that have been suffering from this, or the economy. The country will go bankrupt. It would be absolutely ludicrous, guys, if they did not write some sort of legislation that granted temporarily reprieve from our accumulating debts.
Didn't they just propose an 8-point-something billion something? I thought I heard.
Yeah, something about it might have been in the trillions, something like that. Now here's something.
Senate or something. I heard.
Yeah.
Which
here's my thing. We don't know for sure what they're going to do. But America has come too far to be so stupid and allow the economy to totally crash. We've got to do something to put money back in the economy.
Yeah, and you've probably already seen that the Fed, even though they were going to do it anyway. This is just, I'm just amazed that they did this today, that they lowered the interest rate to not absolute zero, but near zero. I think
exactly.
0 point.
Yeah.
Where were they? When I was buying my house, I could have used that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How about the interest rate on my student loans? I could have used that. Hey, Kent, how about your daughter's college? How about that?
Let's not go down that road.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's a different situation. We've been through disruptions. This a different type of disruption is happening. We've been through more kind of technological
agreed
disruptions. Now we're dealing with the disruptions that we can't physically see, but we see from the reactions of people. Okay, that's what we're seeing it from. So my whole purpose from the conversations I've had the last few days, offline, online, in front of people about, what we do. And I said, why don't I try to get a panel of people that I know? And that's why I thought of you and Kent. I did call another friend of mine. He never answered back, Rudy, but that's okay. This is cool right here. And my whole purpose was to do this Zoom panel talk. We got some people watching. I see, because I'm looking at my laptop, see people coming in and out watching. To give people a perspective that, there's other alternatives to doing something besides having to do what you know. And I understand change is hard for everybody.
Right.
I understand.
And this is, Kent, this is something the three of us can agree on. Now, we started with a little small talk, but we also talked about the present state of what we may or may not be able to expect or what needs to happen. But what the three of us will definitely agree on is, let's just be honest. We're not expecting to, well, we are, but let's not just totally wait for the government to come.
And that's my whole thing. Not to wait.
So we're here for those of you that are listening
Sure.
and hopefully sharing this. Is today we're going to talk about some solutions that we can control, because Kent can control his household. Unfortunately, Kent can't control the whole state. Greg can control his household. Unfortunately, though, he can't control the whole nation. I can control my household, but unfortunately, I can't control the whole world. So what we have to do, let's talk about maybe some innovative ways, what we can do to continue making money while we are still, in the thick of this. All right. So one thing that all three of us believe in is working from home. And we also believe in second, maybe third or fourth income streams. All three of us in one way or the other have always been looking for additional income. All three of us just knew we just didn't fit fully in corporate America. It didn't stop us from going to work, but we just knew there was something different for us. Okay. But the older the three of us got, we all realized that there's no big government that's coming down in the sky to come save us. Okay.
Right.
I don't care how religious you are.
Oh,
God helps those who helps themselves.
speaking of
If
that,
God did it all for you, there would be no need of us going to work.
speaking of that, Drew, I just saw a post on
Mhm.
Facebook today, and it said, I'm trying to think how it went. It said, everybody waiting for the coronavirus to come, but nobody mentioned about Jesus coming back. And my thing was like, the coronavirus is here. Okay? The coronavirus is here. I've heard people talking about Jesus coming back for 61 years. Right now, I ain't seeing no rapture. Okay? I'm not seeing none of that. We know the coronavirus is here. Okay? We see what's going on. That was a post somebody put up there. And I'm, referring to what you're saying, God helps those who help themselves, because my grandmother always said that to me. He said,
Yeah. And please, for those lunatics out there that's always claiming we in the last, if you're a pastor that's watching this or a religious person, I'm sorry if I offend you, but I can't stand people who always are preaching about the last days. I can't stand you.
Second that motion.
Because before any of us were born, they've been preaching about the last days. In the Old West, they were preaching about the last
days.
In the days of the Crusades, the Wild West, and also when Vikings were running around, they talked about days. I'm sure when Mount Vesuvius blew up, they were preaching about the last damn days.
Yep.
That slave mentality has got to go. Okay? Stop looking up at the sky and waiting for somebody to come and save you. It is your time to save yourself. So I'm gonna start with one solution where you guys can make money, and then whichever one of you guys want to go next, that's fine. The first thing is, and all three of us can attest to this, there are companies right now that will hire you to work from home. That used to be 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
When I first met you guys over a decade and maybe a decade and a half ago, back then in America especially, working from home, most of the time, it was taboo. There were a lot of scams out there. There still are scams out there. But there are very reputable companies that are letting you work from home right now. Okay? Carnival Cruise Lines, World Travel Holding. I hear that Sprint is allowing people to work from home. I hear that Aetna's allowing people to work from home. Not Alliance Data, but what's the one that does the politics? It's a big data company here. It'll come to me in a second, but there are so many customer service and travel. Apple is huge. I did it. I did Apple. There are staffing agencies like Kelly Services that has a Kelly Home or Kelly Connect, which is a staffing agency within their staffing agency that are letting people work from home. Okay, it'll be a matter of time before banks even one day do it, when they find a more secure way. You know, medical billers and coders have been working from home for quite a long time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
exactly.
these things are happening right now. And a lot of companies already had things in place for snow days for those of us that live in the north, where you can work at home temporarily. Medco has been doing things from home. Certain people in Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield or WellPoint, whatever you want to call it, have some of their staff who have the ability to work from home. Spectrum, a company all three of us are familiar with, have certain ways that maybe all their people can't work from home. But I don't see why you can't take cable phone calls from home, because the contractors that do Spectrum, a lot of them work from home. There are insurance agents that have been working home for a long time. Accountants can work from home. Or even if an accountant goes to an office, an accountant doesn't have to have people come see him for the most part. There are attorneys that can do some work from home, you know, without necessarily going to court all the time. Can you sell a car from home? That's a bit tougher. You know, there's some things. Can you be?
What's that, Carvana? They sell.
Yeah, you can, but generally speaking, if there's a physical car on lot, somebody's got to deliver it. Somebody's got to.
Well, yeah, they deliver it, but what I'm saying, people go shopping.
Correct.
I don't know. I would do that.
I don't think I would do it. I gotta test drive it.
Yeah, I gotta test drive it.
It'll be hard to be a paramedic from home. It'd be tough to be a doctor from home. Now, don't get me wrong. You have doctors. Dr. Phil's son came up with the app that you can have on your phone, so you could actually see a doctor virtually. So there's some things a doctor and a nurse can do from home. You can't be a surgical nurse from home, not yet. But there are some things. You can't be a police officer from home. That's going to be a tough one, unless you're a cyber police officer. You follow what I'm saying? Some adjusters, it'll be harder for them to work from home, but adjusters don't have to work in big crowds. So there are some jobs that are not going to be too much affected. There'll be some jobs you're going to have to figure out a way. If you're a call center, you need to figure out a way to get your people home, because call centers may have 600-700 people, 1,000, 2,000 people. That's too many damn people.
I remember
under one roof.
Right, and I remember when I worked at, back then it was Time Warner. Right. That was during that H1N1 situation.
Correct, and I actually caught H1N1.
So did I.
I
and
caught
they
H1N1.
all these people coming into work, I said, I said, I wish you would stay home. You're making everybody sick here, and nobody's going to be productive. You're going to end up having to close this
whole call center.
Yeah, because you're bringing people in here sick because they're afraid to stay home because of this and that, whatever you put in their minds. It made no sense to bring people into places where you affect everybody, then nobody can work. Then you're going to lose money even more so because nobody can work.
That's right.
You know, and my thing was about, even if you're working a job, physically going to a job, I always suggested people in today's market, there's no need to get a second job that you have to do the same thing. You can do the same thing. You can consult whatever talents you have. You can consult with big companies, as you had mentioned, some of the things. You can consult with them.
Correct.
Virtual things.
So let me
today to get a second job that you have to go to.
Let me say this. What Greg is saying, I want everybody to understand, you can use your talents. We all have talents to consult with big companies, mom and pops, and mid-size. So the first thing that we said, I just named some companies. I'm not going to give all my list away, but I just named some companies that you can do to work from home. And now Greg is talking about consulting. I'm going to turn it back over to Greg because this is for you guys to know. It's his platform, but not mine. But the host in me wants to say, if you see this video, give it a like, give it a thumbs up. Please share it. Please follow Greg. Please follow Greg. Greg, will you holler out your Twitter name, please? Holler out your Twitter, your Facebook, and anything else you want to holler out.
Your Twitter and name first.
Okay.
People
follow me on Twitter at iDrewAndrews, and just look up EMC Marketing Solutions on Facebook, or Drew Andrews on Facebook. Kent, go ahead and holler out your stuff.
Okay. All right. Well, you can follow me. Obviously, you can follow me on Facebook, Kent Robertson. But my Twitter handle is Maligant27. And yes, I'm even on Instagram, Robert K17. That's Robert K17.
There you go. And Greg, just go ahead and holler out. I know that some of the people that are following you have it, but you don't know who this is going to be shared with.
My Twitter is Gregory Smith, twitter.com//Gregory Smith. I also have one, twitter.com/GJS Enterprises. Okay. Instagram.com, GJS Enterprises. That's where I'm on there. Facebook, I'm on the page is facebook.com, Gregory Smith. I also have a business page, which is facebook.com, GJS Enterprises. Okay. Yeah. So I'm everywhere. I also have a YouTube channel.
That's right, he does.
Okay. A YouTube channel. It's youtube.com. GJS Marketing Concepts. Okay, so now I'm on YouTube there. So
you'll be. I have a YouTube channel as well. Get used to seeing Kent and Greg because they're going to be invited a lot to talk some men's issues and some economic issues because these are two guys' opinions that I trust. I've worked with them both in the past. I know what they are like in their personal lives, and I know what they're like in their business lives. But I wanted to do some housekeeping. Now, let me tell you about Greg and Kent. If you want the truth versus alternative facts, I would support a brother like Greg Smith of GJS Enterprise. Okay. And the reason why I would say that, and Kent can vouch for this, Greg is not going to let Big Farm, Greg is not going to let Big Brother, he ain't going to let Big anything dictate to the information that he's going to disseminate to you guys. He's going to say the things that need to be said. He's going to say the things that you won't hear necessarily on Facebook and YouTube or the big media outlets. He's going to call a spade a spade. So definitely, and if you want marketing information and how to do things from home, Greg is definitely an expert on doing it. He's been working from home for more than 10 years now. And Kent has had a second and even third income stream for about that same time now. So Kent's been greedy, taking money from corporate America and taking money. So, that's why people like Greg and I can't get a raise because Kent been taking so much of the money.
What I wanted to also tell you, everybody now has podcasts. And I wanted to say to this, me and Drew were doing podcasts
way back in the
day. Way back before it was popular.
Before it was popular.
I remember you guys first
doing podcast way before anybody was doing podcasts.
Correct. And we probably shouldn't have stopped because we were getting traction and we stopped. And that's something we need to fix now more than ever. And I think the corona is a great reminder of that. But that's all right. That was then. This is now. We're gonna figure out ways for the three of us to collaborate. And I'm so happy to have Kent aboard now. Because Kent was hiding in the shadows back in those days. And Kent does exist. He is the ghost face of our Wu-Tang Clan. Yes. And now that his probation is over, he can now, no, I'm kidding. He can now show his face.
They just called me the quiet storm.
There was some collaboration I wanted to talk with y'all guys with anyway. Well, we can do that offline when I get off of Facebook or whatever.
That works. But I do want you to go back, because I do have something I want to talk to the two of you about too. So after this is done, but I want you to go back to what you were talking about, consulting. Go a little bit deeper into that, and Kent, I want you to chime in on that.
What I'm saying by consulting, more or less, like we just said, you take your talents that you already have, and you can use them to help others, whatever. See, most in marketing, sales, whatever, I try to keep it very simple. All it is about is solving a person's problem. As a consultant, whether it's for a company, for an individual, or whatever, if you have a solution to those people's problems, you can make money.
Okay.
You have to understand your own talents and bring them to the forefront, to the marketplace that can use your talents for the better of mankind, period, or any community. And it's about you using those talents to help whoever that needs it. And that's all what marketing sales is about. I think sometimes we make marketing sales a dirty word, and it shouldn't be, because that's all in anything that we do, from relationships to going to get a job or whatever. Even in this political environment we are, they're selling you their personalities, their resolvements to you to vote for them. So we're always are in a sales and marketing environment. No matter where you go, you turn on the TV, sales and marketing. You go out and drive down the street, the billboard, sales and marketing. You turn on the radio, sales and marketing. The TV, sales and marketing. Even when you go on YouTube, what do?
Sales and marketing. Even with premium YouTube. Time. When you first got premium YouTube, Kent and Greg, that was supposed to be commercial free, even on premium YouTube.
Right. And it's sales and marketing. So we got to understand what climate we live in. If as a business professional, be it direct sales, network marketing, if you don't understand, you need to learn the art of sales and marketing. I just saw an article today, well, not today, just a few days ago. Mark Harbert, he says, 2020, he says, people, the days of chasing people around, been over, but they really over in this start of a new decade. We're in a decade, 2020. You got to understand and learn the art of sales and marketing. No matter what it is you're trying to do. I don't care if you trying to sell tiddlywinks. You got to learn how to sell and market it. Okay?
But people are afraid of sales, and I'm sorry, but they'll say, Kent has the money right now to give you $50,000 to start your business, okay? And Kent's a nice guy, so he's gonna give his sister's best friend $50,000, but she has to say to Kent, what is she going to do to make that money back? Because $50,000 may be enough to just cover her for the first 2 months, and she may not profit until the third or fourth month. She's gonna have to do some marketing. So whether you're cutting yards, painting houses, whether you're an attorney, whether you're an accountant, whether you're a blacksmith, a horse jockey, even a hot dog stand, you've got to understand that you're always selling yourself. Yeah. Now, if I tell people, hey, let's go to a bar and let's pick up some girls, what are you doing? You're selling yourself. You're saying to that girl, I'm better than any guy in this bar. You need to give me your number. You need to come home with me. You need to marry me. Let's have our twins, Bonisha and Darquisha. You're selling yourself, but she's also selling herself. And I mean, in the legal sense, she's selling herself as well. You know, why should she be the one that you are purchasing the drinks for? People want the glory, but they don't want to do the work. I don't care if you're an undertaker. You're selling your dream. You're selling your services. So you have to understand, no matter what you do in life, you are selling services. And now more than ever, you don't know how long you're going to be at home. It may be 3 or 4 months. You don't know how much of your mortgage or bills the government will or won't pay. You don't know how long it might take for you to get that money dispersed. You don't know what emergencies may come up medically, mentally, spiritually. You don't know what supplies that you may or may not need. So you've got to solve your own problem. And if you just go back maybe to the 40s and 30s on backwards, there are plenty times people were at least self-employed. Everybody didn't have their own business. But if your mother cleaned a house, and I want to go back, even African American, if your mother cleaned 8 different houses of 8 different white families and babysat on weekends for 2 additional white families, she was still self-employed. Sure, she grew up in Jim Crow, but she was still self-employed. How about the housewife that was known for baking pies? She was still self-employed, even though she was a wife and mother. The blacksmith was self-employed. So self-employed was not a foreign concept to America. Not everybody worked in factories. Okay? Not everybody was a U.S. Marshal. There were people who had to have, being a farmer was what? Having your own business. Some, it was just he and his wife and kids. Some had 12 farmhands living on there. You get what I'm saying? So that was a business. So you're gonna have to return to one of the things that made America great, and that was entrepreneurship. Yep. Some of you that are listening to us right now are great with the sewing needle. That's man or woman. I'm not saying that women just have to do it, man or woman, gay or straight. Some of you are great with that. Some of you are great with painting. How many of us went to high school with somebody who painted on t-shirts and jeans? Probably all 3 of us know at least one person that was good at that. Some of you are great at slogans and could be selling bumper stickers. I survived Corona 2020. Okay, maybe 2 trillion of those might get sold.
Wait a minute.
That's a. We better go patent that real quick.
We better keep that.
Correct.
I mean, I'm just thinking about. I should have invited her. I have a friend, female friend. She works for the state. Her name is Barbara. She has a business right here online called Barb's Sweets.
Okay.
Cookies, desserts.
Yeah.
That's what she sells.
Yeah.
She got all kind of. When I met her, she was a graphic designer and did stuff for billboards that we saw around the city.
Okay.
Okay. Then she went and did some other things, and now she's back into more entrepreneurship. She's into baking, cookies. I mean, she's always got stuff running on Facebook, Instagram all the time. So right there, it's not that it can't be done. It's understanding that, are you willing to do it? Are you willing to learn some other skill sets that will help you when you're in a situation that we are in now? So you don't have to depend on whether the government's going to subsidize you with this or that and the other thing.
Correct.
That's what you got to really.
Correct. And sometimes it's not if the government's going to subsidize you, it's when. Yeah. It might take 9 months for you to get that Corona stimulus package. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. And so you know, what about those that know how to make lotions and jewelry? Now's a great time. Yeah. You know, what about people who know? What about life coaches? You don't have to meet Kent in person to be his life coach. You could be in Hawaii or Alaska and be his life coach, and vice versa.
And do technology.
Greg, all 3 of us know how to sell, and all 3 of us know how to supervise. We could do an online coaching right now for different companies, and they don't have to put their employees at risk of catching anything.
We can do this right here with this technology. We could do a seminar, webinar, whatever your web
Right
info,
now.
right now.
All
on
three of us
targeting
know how to
sales.
use PowerPoint. I'm very good at editing video as well. Kent can lead one part. Greg, you can lead one. I can. And we can all collaborate on another part. That right there. The three of us can decide if we want to report on the news.
Yeah.
We've got the technology to do it now.
Yeah, we got a whole lot of technology.
So these are business ideas that we're giving you guys. If you're going to be home for the next 3 to 8 weeks, why not write that novel that it's been taking you 2 years to write? You got 8 weeks off work and pretty much a 99% chance that you got some kind of stimulus or relief coming.
And it's
Okay.
that's another thing. There are so many different ways to write a book
Nowadays.
software that is so cheap.
Yep.
And that's the
I just bought
concept I'm learning.
I just bought one.
Yeah, that's the concept I'm learning.
Mhm.
You know, I got one right now. I'm gonna finish a book that I've been rewriting, and it's not that, like I was telling Kent earlier before you came on, Drew. Where's the book? The Next Millionaire. This book talked about back in 2010. Paul Zane Pilzer said, what is going to happen we're talking about last decade. He said, the business world is going to change in the next 10 years. He said, software, tools and stuff are going to be developed for the home-based business owner, the mompreneur, single mom, entrepreneur, solopreneur, whatever you want to call it. With all that being said, it's come to fruition. All the tools that you see us talking to you now have been developed in this last decade. Okay, all the live stream, the stuff, Facebook and all this stuff, the tools that have been on Facebook have been developed in the last decade.
Well, I would say they have been improved upon.
They've been
because I remember being able to do stuff on Yahoo Messenger, and that was way back in the AOL days, you know. And Skype,
they're more efficient than they were.
Correct, more efficient than what it used to be, more dependable,
more mass available.
Correct.
It's like the internet. A lot of people don't understand the internet was around in 1969.
Since the 50s, yeah.
Well, I heard 69, but okay. But it just wasn't available to the public until the late 2000 or the late 90s.
Probably the late 90s.
Yeah,
late 90s.
Late 90s. Yeah.
So that's where we got to understand. And the internet's concept was invented by a black man. A lot of people don't know that. Even though I'm not gonna wait for no Black History Month. Black History should be all year round.
I agree.
Well,
and I happen to be wearing a Black History hat. I am Black History.
Yes, I've noticed that.
Yeah. Now, you know, they say necessity is the mother of invention, and right now it is more necessary now. Remember, Kent and Greg, you guys been warning people for a long time about second income streams and working from home. You guys been beating that drum for a long time and people ain't listening. Now it's necessary. But let me go back in time on y'all. Both of y'all gonna know this, okay? Here is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon.
Oh yeah, where's that? I got that book somewhere.
I knew you was gonna know it. Now, I got the Mastermind edition. Okay, I had to be special and get the Mastermind edition. I got this from the Half Price Bookstore. I got the big giant one. It's got a workbook and all that. I mean, this one is.
The one I got was from the 90s.
There you go. But the advice that he gave in this book is still relevant today.
Oh, of course.
I'll tell you another thing that's relevant. Those of you that are just over broke, how about you? Forget about job. We're gonna invent a new phrase right now, and we're gonna patent it. Jub, just under broke. Okay, Jubs. So let me talk to the ones that have Jubs. They are just underbroke. Okay. And so those of you that are just underbroke, okay, if you don't want to pay, I think I got this guys for about, oh, here's the price, $9.49 at the half price bookstore. Okay.
Okay.
And how about you can listen to P.T. Barnum, okay? And it was very similar. P.T. Barnum, somebody's actually reading his book, okay, online on YouTube. Just click P.T. Barnum audiobook and then listen to it on YouTube. The advice that he's talking about advertising and investing and all that stuff is still relevant today. But the thing that I like about Think and Grow Rich, it stretches your mind a little bit to get you, it inspires you to think, it inspires you to be self-sufficient. Now is the time for you to find a need and fill it.
Yeah.
And that's the third thing we can add. Find a need and fill it. Look around your community and find what's missing, and then you create it. You guys remember this year, people were getting mad at Tyler Perry and they said, oh, Tyler don't have enough black writers. And Tyler said, I didn't want it. He said, I used to have a bunch of writers and it just didn't work out. So now I write all my own stuff.
Yeah, I remember him saying that.
Y'all remember that?
Yeah. He said he had a bunch of writers because what was it, this recent movie that's on Netflix with Crystal Fox?
Yeah, I like that movie, by the way.
Yeah, he shot, you know how long he took to shot that?
What was it, 3 days or something?
No, it was like 8 days.
8 days, okay, yeah.
Unheard of in a normal Hollywood production.
And for an 8-day movie, it was worth watching.
Good, it was good.
Yeah, yeah. Felicia Rashad's also in it. Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah.
And I say that to say this. My response on the I think it was on YouTube, and I was responding. I say, who the hell are you to tell Tyler Perry what to do with his money? If I liked what Tyler said. Tyler said, if you don't get it, you're not my audience. My audience gets me, and I write for the people who get me. And Greg has always said, and those of you that have children, cover your ears. Greg has always said, if you with me, great. If not, fuck you. I mean, Greg has said that on multiple occasions.
I'm unapologetic about it. See,
exactly.
And you have to be.
Attraction marketing. That's what I emphasize a lot. It's not about having everybody like you. It's about the people that get you.
Correct. And Tyler Perry is filling a need for the people who get him. But Kent, if I don't like Tyler Perry, it's not Tyler Perry's job to change because of me. It's my job. You know what, Kent? I don't like Tyler Perry. So you know what I'm going to do? I think Tyler Perry should do more stuff for black women. I'm just making this up. I think he does enough. But so I think, no, I'll say this. I think Tyler Perry doesn't represent Asian women. So why don't I go get my own studio for Asian women?
Yeah.
Or if I don't have the money to get my own studio, why don't I find an Asian director and me, you, and my friends and family donate money to that person or buy stocks and invest in that person? If I'm not willing to do it myself or invest in someone who's already a bit ahead of me, then I need to sit down and shut up. So one of the things you've got to do is feel that need. If you don't like what Kent's doing, then do something different.
Yeah. Or if you don't like what Kent said, and I had to tell this woman, then change the channel.
Use the channel.
Okay, really. I did. This woman was talking, remember during the Super Bowl, people were complaining about J-Lo and Shakira or whatever they were doing. I didn't see it, but I saw a lot of comments on TV.
Oh, thank you.
Online.
I didn't expecting dinner. Look at this, y'all. Let me hold up real quick. Look at hey, lean in. This is my son, Quincy.
Wow.
Wait a minute.
Look how old he is. He's 14.
Is that the one that was over here?
Yep.
The little kid that was over here?
Yep.
Yeah, how long ago was that?
That's been a while. He ain't no little kid now. Thank you, Quincy. Hey, Quincy, Can you
You
feel
can feed
that?
that young man.
Full
I'm
of
talking to
ice
you now.
and water. Thank you.
Ooh.
Oh, this dude about to be taller than me, and I can already tell by his shoulders he's gonna be broad. I just took him out working out yesterday. He gonna be a beast.
Okay.
But
And
what
you
I
know,
got-
EJ, his older brother's a drummer now.
Oh, okay.
And now's a good time for me to do some stuff for my son, okay? And build up his brand for his drum. My son can sit at home and make beats now. Y'all know I got Logic Pro. I also have Pro Tools. I got Ableton Live, and I got Cakewalk. I got
You know what? You always had all these damn software tools. And when I first met you, you had all that stuff.
and now I'm able to use it. I got more mics and cameras than what I used to have. So we got to sit down and collaborate on some
Yeah, I'm
stuff.
getting ready to get
Now that we got all this time.
I'm getting ready to get a camera. I saw, and I'm getting ready to get another mic for the for my
Get
desktop.
I recommend the Yeti mic. And
I
there's
got the
no
Yeti mic. That's what
Okay.
I'm talking to you
I
on.
know you've been
I'm
talking
getting ready
about
to get
that
another one.
for years.
I'm getting ready to get another one
Yes.
with boom mic.
I got 2 Yeti mics now, working on the third one. I got 2 of these cameras right here.
Okay.
They're both Sony mirrorless counters. One's the mid-grade, one's a high-grade. I think this is the mid-grade. The high-grade one does 4K. And I got like a long lens that goes with this camera.
I saw that on QVC also.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But we'll talk more
Yeah.
about those
Yeah.
later, because there's some stuff that we can do.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, if you're a photographer, now would be a great time, because you know you can't get close to people, but you can take pictures from a distance. Now's a great time to be a photographer. Thank you, sir.
I had just talked to one of our friends in martial arts. In fact, I just talked to another
Taste
woman
the
that
PC.
she was looking for some self-defense for women, but may not be the time to do that now.
It's not the time right now,
With
correct?
all this going on, but I said me and Mike, not Mike Wayne, but another Mike I know. We
Okay.
were on a class for self-defense. I used to teach women's self-defense for Bank One about 15 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Made pretty good money doing that. You know, those are kind of things, you know, whatever, like we saw earlier, the talent you
And
got.
we'll get that chance
Yeah.
to do that.
Yeah.
If you're a personal trainer, this still's a good time for you. You're just gonna have to do one-on-ones,
Yeah.
or maybe 5-on-1s. No, listen. Right now, at most, you can have 49 people or less at an event. So a personal trainer still can teach 20 people. You get what I'm saying? Or 10 people at a time.
Or you can record something and sell the recording.
Correct.
I mean, you know, there's a lot of
Now
ways.
would be a great time for a guy like Stacey Wiggins.
Yeah.
Okay, one of my clients and an associate of mine. But that martial arts, she still can do that right now. Maybe she just teaches 5 women at a time. Why not?
Yeah. There's so many ways. You just got to be creative and understand, hey, if you got to feed your family or whatever, there's ways of doing stuff. It's like my
Right.
mother was talking about, she has some shoes. I said, we can sell them on eBay.
Yep.
I mean, get rid of them that way.
yeah.
She has some stuff.
Now, if there's
It's
stuff
all
you
about
got
the
in
hustle.
storage and in your basement,
Yeah.
sell it off.
Yeah.
It's all about the hustle now.
A lot of you are going to be off from work. Like Kent said, it's all about the hustle.
You know, so that's what it is, people. That's what we are in, and you got to understand. You can't depend on your job. What's going on? I'm not on. What happened here? I'm looking on my laptop. I'm trying to mount.
And I tell you what I'm gonna do, Greg, to make it worth it for some of your viewers. I'm gonna give people some companies that they can do to work from home. Okay. I'm only doing this because this is a GJS Enterprises, okay, production. I'm doing that because of my friendship with Greg and Kent. So I'm going to give you guys, so I would advise you guys to take notes. Once again, I'm Drew Andrews. That's I as in ice cream, Drew, D-R-E-W, Andrews. Just follow me on Twitter. If you follow me on Twitter, it'll take you to my LinkedIn page. You can find Drew Andrews on Facebook. You can also find EMC Marketing Solutions. The YouTube channel, it's been a while, but I'm going to start doing some videos very, very, very soon. And they're going to be on a regular basis. And you're going to also see these two gentlemen again. We're going to teach you we're going to break down some businesses that you should do from home. We're going to talk about some opportunities, and we're going to give you guys some coaching. And we're going to also talk about some current events. Okay. To right now, though, I want you to like this video. I want you to share this video. I know we've been talking for a while. I just wanted you to get a feel for Kent, Greg, and myself. This is not our last time we'll be together again. You can help out by liking this video. If you want three brothers that are going to talk truth to you in facts, we're not trying to extort you for money. We're not going to be selling you something every 5 minutes. Of course, we're here to make money, but we first and foremost, during this national crisis, the three of us are here to help you. Yep. We haven't asked you to spend a dime, have we? No. Have we sold one thing? Have we given you any links to any of our businesses?
And that wasn't the purpose of this.
That wasn't the purpose. All three of us have businesses, and not one of us sent you to a landing page to try to get you to buy something. So for GJS Enterprises, I am going to give you guys and I want you guys to write this down, some solid home-based opportunities. So I'm going to go on my other screen while Greg and Kent talks. And when I get my list up, and after they're done talking, I'm going to give you guys some work from home opportunities. I'm going to tell you exactly where to go and the name of the companies and what it is that you will be doing. But I'm going to pause and let these two guys talk.
So, yeah, I'm sending this, share this out also. So, hey, Kent, you still on there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't see you.
Yeah.
But
I've always been the silent partner. But but basically, what you and Drew have said. I mean, I'm just going to piggyback on it, but it's just the concept that we're on here tonight to let you know that there's some viable options out here, guys, or I should say, ladies and gentlemen. There's some viable options out here. You just have to be willing to be open, try something new, because I mean, let's face it, this Corona situation, this is a new for everyone.
Yeah. Drew probably's been more in a situation not like this, but living in the Hurricane Alley. And those ain't nothing to mess with also, but this is a different animal
altogether.
This is a whole different animal that all of us are experiencing. Everybody's in the same boat. Nobody.
Because with Hurricane Andrew and Hurricane Hugo and Katrina and Caroline, things like that, you knew what to expect to a degree. Okay. It was very scary, but you knew what to expect. With this, you don't know how long the quarantines are going to be and the restrictions are going to be. You don't know how crazy some fools are going to act. Is this going to be a scenario in 5 months? Will we be under martial law if things continue to go south? That would be a scary time, and militia groups and all those other stuff. And you might have Heaven's Gate Part 2, your cults. You'd be very surprised if people really thought that we were going to have martial law and the government says, okay, we're shutting down it would be some scary times. And so
Exactly.
to make those times less scary, keep yourself having money coming in so what the government doesn't have to. One, you got to be cautious. So continue to wash your hands. I tell people that's not all of it. Take vitamin C supplements if you can, and zinc. Those are two major things. Throw in some vitamin D. But the main thing, eat as many fresh vegetables and fruits as you possibly can. The stronger your immune system, the better. Corona might spread very fast, but luckily it is not the harshest of viruses. I'm sorry to say our elderly are at risk and people with compromised immune systems.
And those are the ones that usually pass.
But that happens even with the
Even
flu.
with the flu.
I'm not making light of it and saying that, that we wouldn't miss those folks, but keep in mind there are a lot of people that are gonna catch it and be just fine. I would be shocked if Rudy Gobert from the Utah Jazz died from this. Even Tom Hanks, unless he has a sickness or low compromised immune system that I don't know about, I just don't see him passing from it, you know. So it's just like if Greg caught the flu. When Greg had H1N1, in no time did I think Greg was gonna pass. You know, so I'm not saying when you get it, oh, jump for joy if you do get it. But it's not Ebola. Ebola, oh yeah. I would be afraid to get Ebola. You get Ebola.
That's a real.
That just might be something we're done. Good. Let's get your funeral arrangements together. You know, so thank goodness that it's not a virus like Ebola, where it's almost imminent that you're gonna perish.
Thank goodness we had the administration a different
in place. Exactly. And we had the people in place to deal with it.
Yeah.
So, you know, with that being said, first and foremost, be careful. If you haven't cleaned your house and your vehicles from top to bottom, please, everything that you touch, your doorknobs inside and out, your desk, your keyboards, your cell phones, okay, your countertops, your bathrooms, your kitchens and bedrooms, clean them. Wash your clothes. Every time you leave the house, people wash their hands, but don't forget your clothes get germs on them as well. Even your hats, your glasses, everything, okay? Try to eat as healthy as possible. Don't be Mr. and Mrs. Fast Food Junkie. You gotta strengthen your immune system.
Yep.
Then the next thing you gotta do is you need to figure out a way to generate income. So let's say though, you're a person that you have no trade. So you're not a plumber, you're not an engineer, you don't have a profession, you're not a doctor, you're not a realtor, you're not an insurance agent, and you just really don't know what to do. You don't know how to sew, you don't know how to type fast, so you can't do data entry from home. You don't know how to design web pages and things of that sort. So you're not a musician, and you're like, and you're not, you know, you don't have a great body, you don't know how to teach self-defense, certain things like that. So what do you do? Okay. Well, sometimes you have to take now, and also unfortunately, the universities are closed in many cases, and public schools are closed, and private schools are closed. So what do? You position yourself to learn. There are many valuable resources on YouTube alone. There are valuable resources. There's so many blogs out there that you can learn a new trade from, that you don't have to necessarily go to school. And some of you have books on your shelves. Some of you are still near bookstores that are open, that are not under restrictions, that you can buy. So use this time, one, to educate yourself if you don't already have a talent, a trade, or a profession. Talent, trade, or profession. If you don't have those, find some way to educate yourself. Now, let's talk about some things that you can do from home. For those of you that are not innovative or ambitious enough, and I'm not attacking you, I'm just saying, if you don't have the ambition of getting your own business, let's talk about some stuff that's already in place, okay? So number one, a place for mom, okay? All right, you must have a quiet workspace and a high-speed internet. They provide a laptop with Microsoft Office Outlook, access to their CRM, and a VoIP phone system. So they even have your equipment, okay? And you would be a senior living advisor. You're doing this from home, so the seniors are not in any jeopardy. You would go to aplaceformom.com, okay? aplaceformom.com, and then just go ahead and apply for a job, okay? So that's number one. This is a legitimate work from home opportunity. Dads, that doesn't mean just because it's a place for mom, generally, and I hate that people make this assumption, but that's for another video. They're assuming that, hey, you've got an elderly mom, you need to place her somewhere. But I'm sure that it applies to dads too, okay? And that doesn't mean women can just do this job. So men, feel free to apply, okay? ABC Financial, it's just like it sounds. It's a remote customer service position. You must have a quiet workspace with a hard-wired high-speed internet, not just wireless, hard-wired. And generally, if you have 40 megs or higher, most places you have enough internet speed to work from home. It's called ABC Financial. And let me just double check. I do believe they provide the equipment. Yes, they provide all equipment. So you just responsible for your internet and a quiet place to work from home. And of course, a professional voice. Okay, so it's abcfinancial.com. That's customer service from home.
And for let people know, I am putting, if you're watching on Facebook, well, if you're watching on Facebook, I'm putting these places in the comments that you can get on Facebook. So
nice. And you know what? I probably could have did that as well. I wasn't even thinking.
That's all right. I'm just listening to you. Go ahead, continue.
Yep. I love that. You see how Greg and I work together? So boom. So here's another one, the Active Network, okay? You can be a reservation agent, okay? You'll need a high-speed internet. They supply all the equipment. They are called the Active Network, and you need to go to activenetwork.com/home. activenetwork.com/home. This company has been around for over 20 years. They're a very solid company, okay? activenetwork.com. Now, the next one, you're going to know this company. They're huge. They are Amazon.com. Yes, the Amazon. And they're hiring for customer service representatives. You must have a high-speed internet. They provide all the equipment. Amazon.com. Okay? Now, I don't know what effect the coronavirus may or may not have. Amazon is a worldwide company the last time I checked. I still would apply. Even if some of these companies have a hiring freeze, go ahead and apply now. So when that hiring freeze is off, bam, you're in the kitty. Some of you might not want to go back to your original job. Use this opportunity to apply for another one. So look at it as, before I continue my list, my mentor, who you guys will hear me call my father, Stan Squire, Miami, Florida. One of the wisest men that ever lived and still alive today. He said that when a tidal wave comes or a tsunami comes, Americans look at it like, oh my God, I'm going to lose my beach house. And, oh my God, I'm never going to replace all my stuff. And, you panic. And he said the Japanese, when they see a tsunami come, they're just as distraught as you are, okay? They don't want to lose their home. They don't want to lose their lives. But the difference is, After it hits, we in America are waiting for the great big government in the sky to come and save us. Okay? The Japanese, the first thing they do, their house is destroyed. And you know what they do with the insurance money? They go buy a fishing boat. And now they commercial fishermen. All these sharks are now swimming closer. All these big fish that were in deep sea, all these octopi, all these shrimp, or in Forrest Gump's term, scrimp, bubblegum scrimp,
Yeah.
lobster scrimp, raspberry scrimp, fricassee. Kent gonna start his own scrimping business. Okay.
Popcorn fried fritter shrimp.
Exactly. While me and Greg are pissed off because Donald Trump ain't mailed our stimulus checks yet. Kent got a scrimping boat. And now he owns 6 of them. And he can't wait for the next tsunami. So we are looking at the peril while the Japanese are looking at the opportunity. All right. And I'm not trying to stereotype. That doesn't mean all Americans are that way and all Japanese are that way. But that was something that my father used as an illustration to help me understand the difference between peril and opportunity. We all focus on the peril, the danger, but we don't think about the opportunity after the danger. There's going to be some unique businesses that might start because of this coronavirus.
And
Are
that's
you going
what
to be
usually
one of the people that's going to
That's
start?
another.
Okay. Are you going to be one that start them? The 3 of us plan to. We're going to try to figure something out. This is your opportunity to have a new beginning. And I am so sorry for those of you that have lost loved ones. I am so sorry for those of you that are losing sleep at night. For those of you that are worried about how you are going to pay your bills.
Mm-hmm.
I feel for you. The 3 of us, we feel for you, but I want you to understand there are a lot of Great Depression survivors around right now. My grandmother is one of them. She will be 90 this year. And she ain't the only one. Her cousin is still alive. And she got other cousins that are still alive. She got friends from the church that are older than her. They were Great Depression babies. And they're still here. You got 3 recession babies talking to you right now. All right. So where there's a will, there's a way. All right. So I'm going to continue to list. I left off on Amazon. Did I skip? I skipped Alliance Data, y'all. Now, for those of you in Ohio, you know who Alliance Data is. Not everybody knows Alliance Data. Thank you. Payment Solutions Associate. You will need to have a high-speed wired internet. They supply all the equipment. Alliance Data, okay? And Alliance Data has been around for years. All right, let me see if I can find the website for you guys. All right, Alliance Data. Give me a second. I'm finding the website for you. It might be alliancedata.com, and it is. Hold on. It is alliancedata.com/home. Okay. Alliance Data, very reputable company. I suggest that you guys apply. And they pay pretty decent. Okay. Here's another company you all heard of, American Express. Okay. Now, guys, let me preface this by saying this. It's a virtual travel consultant. I do not know right now with the coronavirus, will there be a hiring freeze? How much travel will there be? Will there be travel restrictions of some sort? I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe there's no domestic travel descriptions. Because it's American Express, go ahead and at least get your name in the kitty, okay? It's a virtual travel consultant. You'll need a quiet workspace. Again, they provide all the equipment. They will install internet and telephone service, which can only be used for your business. So they're actually going to get you a dedicated internet business line that they're going to pay for, and a telephone Boom, that'll only be used for business. I'm sure when you offline, if you want to use the landline just for the sake to make a phone call, I don't see why you couldn't. But predominantly, it's don't give it out, for your many baby mamas to call. That's not the phone for that. Okay. Here's another one. Greg and Kit, you two remember me doing this one. How about Apple? Almighty Apple. I did that for about a good 2 years. Apple Care College Program and Home Advisor. Let me add another one, guys. Technical support. That's what I did for Apple. I started at tier 1, then I got promoted to tier 2. Apple paid for everything. Apple paid for my Mac. They paid for my my iPod. Apple paid for my laptop. Apple didn't pay for my internet bill, but who cares? That's a write-off. And it was another piece of equipment or two they gave me. My headset, they paid for all that stuff. They pay for your training. There's benefits and everything. Okay. And I'm going to give you guys 2 ways to get this Apple job. I'm going to give you 2 ways. Number 1, through Apple itself. Apple Care College Program, blah, 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 blah. You must have a quiet workspace and high-speed internet. They provide all the equipment. The website that I want you to go to, all right, bear with me, apple.com. Okay, unfortunately, they're saying our retail stores are closed until March 27th. No worries, I still would apply for it, but what I think with the retail stores being closed, that might affect how many people they hire. But let me tell you guys about the technical support job so you understand. Even with the retail stores closed, in my opinion, I think Apple's business is going to pick up, because since they can't go to the retail stores, they're going to need to call when there's an iPhone update that messes up your phone or your iPad or your Mac. Now more than ever, they're going to have to call in for technical support. So if I were you guys, I think it's a smart move to go ahead and apply for Apple Home Advisor position. So one way to do it is through Apple itself. The other way to do it is through a company called Kelly Connect. They are a division of Kelly Services, the staffing agency. Well, what's the difference? Okay, Apple's going to pay you more because you're directly with them. You become an Apple employee. Kelly Services is going to pay you less, but what I understood from working with, comparing both, Apple itself is a little more strict. Kelly Services was a lot more laid back. Okay, so it wasn't a stuffed shirt. You're not as micromanaged with Kelly Services as you are with Apple. Kelly Services pays about $4 or $5 less than what Apple will pay you. You get the same exact training as an Apple employee will get. You're doing the same exact job. If you get hired as one, you can't do the other. Obviously, if you get hired on as Apple, why would you go to a temp company? But if you get hired under Kelly, Apple can't poach Kelly and take you from Kelly. So in this day and time, whoever answers first, go ahead. Kelly Services does give you benefits. It is a full-time permanent job. I'm sure at some point you can cross over to Apple. You may not ever want to. Okay, there is opportunity for advancement. I am living proof I advanced through the ranks. Okay, a company, I hope that they're still hiring. Again, it's travel, but I want you to write them down. They're either the first or second biggest travel agency in the world. They are called World Travel Holdings. Just Google them. World Travel Holding paid me for everything. I got all kind of travel discounts to go tons and tons of different places. There was all kind of incentives. They'll train you on Carnival Cruise Line, Royal Caribbean. They'll train you on Norwegian, Princess, Holland Cruise Lines, blah, 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 blah. I can almost guarantee you right now, with the cruise industry suspended indefinitely for right now, World Travel Holding probably is not, but the hiring right this second, but the reason why I'm telling you about them, this is not going to be permanent. What will it hurt you to put your resume in with them now? The pay was decent. The bonuses were good. There were a lot of giveaways. I worked from home. The only thing I hated were the unrealistic customers who would call, they see a cruise for $2.99 a person, but they're port fees, dummies. There's taxes. There are things that are not included, and I wish that World Travel Holding would advertise it a little bit different. So I'm getting into arguments with customers about pricing. And then on top of it, it was very frustrating for me because you have people calling pricing and they got me looking at 8 or 9 different cruises and I couldn't wait to get you off the goddamn phone. But there's some people who like doing that. And if you really like it, then go do it. The only way you'll lose this job at World Travel Holding, because it's not a big sales-based job, it's really more customer service-based. There was an expectation for sales, but it wasn't strongly pushed, okay? Is the only way you'll lose that job if you were like me and you just got frustrated with them and like, damn, you know, because Greg and I get kind of sick of you talking to us any kind of way. Kent's more patient than us. Kent can take it for years and years at a time. You got 2-3 phone calls with me and Greg, okay? And you better not talk to me and Greg.
Go that 8 hours, ain't no way no more.
I'm getting a little older. After 8 hours, after 8 hours, I'm like, what do you want?
I barely talk to some of the people I got. Like right now, I'm like, it's a yes or no question. Are you interested or not? You know, so we don't have to
my patience isn't what it, I mean, I'm still patient, but it's not what it was back in the day, Drew.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just, this is why I'm more today. I'm come from a network marketing background, but that industry has to change also. We just got, I'll just ask you, we just got information from the affiliate that we belong to, and they were talking about some of y'all are using technology to connect with your customers or potential clients or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Doing that because with this virus thing, belly to belly, face to face type of things is not advised. So that was another incentive to put this program together that we are doing tonight. We've been on here about 2.5 hours now. So we probably need to a little bit wrap it up in about 10 minutes because I want to talk to you guys later on about about some of the stuff we're gonna do.
Yeah, we're gonna talk in more detail, but we just wanted to give you some and let me give you guys a few more positions. And this is stuff that I've researched over years. I have probably over 80 different companies that you can do from home. Okay, so everybody doesn't have to be a Kent and do your own business. Everybody doesn't have to have Greg's ambition and have multiple income streams. We advise you, the three of us are still going to advise you, but you don't have to listen to us to do it. So here's a company called Buffer, Buffer. All positions. This company is fully remote. Fully. Every position is remote. They supply all employees with a laptop to work with. It is Buffer. They are journey.buffer.com. Journey.buffer.com. Okay? Journey.buffer.com. Okay? I put it in the chat, journey.buffer.com. Here's another one called Concentrix. It's a customer service representative and technical support. You must have a high-speed hardwired internet. They provide the computer for you. Okay, anytime a company's providing you the laptop, or the home computer, this is not no commission only type of thing. This is actually a real career where you become an employee. And you spell it, I'll also put it in the chat, CONCENTRX.com. Concentrix Okay. Now I want you to understand there are people who will charge you for what I'm giving you right now. Okay, here's another one. Conduit. Virtual customer service representative. You'll need a high-speed internet and landline telephone. They provide the computer. They are called Conduit. They are spelled CONDUENT.com, and I'll also put that in the chat. Okay. You guys didn't know that Greg and Kent and I were going to be giving you, okay, these goodies. Here's another one. GC Services, Customer Service Representative. You must have a high-speed internet home phone service and a quiet workspace. They will provide all the equipment. I am going to put it in. The chat is gcsserve.com. Okay. Here's another one that you may have heard of. Has anybody heard of the Hilton Hotel? These are reputable companies. These are not scams. You know how hard this was for Greg and Kent and I to find 15 years ago? Do you know how a decade and a half ago, Greg and I and Kent and I, we don't want to put up with some of you guys out there, your shit. You know who you are. Corporate America, we didn't want to put up with your shit. But it was hard to find this stuff years ago. Most of it was scams. So you can be a reservation agent for the Hilton Hotel. I'm gonna also give you another one. Red Roof Inn does it from home as well, okay? You'll need to have a high-speed hardwired internet, a landline telephone, and a monitor. They provide the computer. Both Red Roof Inn and Hilton want you to have dual monitors. So you provide one monitor, they'll provide the computer, boom. And a nice little trick, go get a flat screen TV, okay? Get a big TV, like a 32-inch. When I say big, that's not huge by today's standards, but computer monitor standards. It's cheaper to buy you a Roku TV, okay, than it is a 32-inch Roku TV than a 32-inch computer monitor. Let me give you guys about two more. You're gonna have to tune in next time for us to get you more than this last two. Progressive, the insurance company. These are companies. Okay, not every company that I named you know of. You didn't know who Buffer was, or Concentrix. You didn't know who those were. You don't know who Sedgwick is. That's another one. But let me give you Progressive. Customer service representatives, sales representatives, and claims, all working from home. You'll need a high-speed wired internet. They provide all the other equipment, okay? And you'll go to progressive.com/careers/locations/work from home. I'm going to go ahead and put the link in there, okay? And I promise that I'll give you guys one more. Again, I could give you more, but I'm not giving you more than this because you're going to have to tune in next time, okay? So let me give you one more. I'm going to give you guys Sedgwick. It's a remote service center associate. You'll need high-speed internet. They provide all the equipment, all of it. You guys notice how every place I said provides the equipment? These are people who are hiring you to be employees, okay? And here's the link. It's at Sedge, it's SEDGWICK.com. There's no E. Everybody thinks there's SEDEGE or SEDGE. Nope, it's SEDG WICK, WICK.com. Sedgwick.com. I got tons more of them. I'm going to stop here because if I give it away, you guys won't tune in the future. Kent's not going to allow me. He'll cut the video feed before I even get to a point to give it all away. But we wanted to give you guys, this is our stimulus package from us to you guys, okay? I know it doesn't solve all your problems. It may not give you $10 today, but if you guys go ahead and you jump on these websites now and get ahead of the game, because you're going to have a lot of competition out of there. There are restaurants that don't have drive-throughs that are closed. There are libraries that are closed. Maybe the librarian is doing okay, but the hourly person at $10 an hour may not be doing. Maybe the restaurant owner is okay for right now, but the hourly associate for $11 an hour is wondering what to do. So jump on these things now. Maybe your warehouse is so big, okay, that 2/3 of your workforce, they couldn't bring to work. What if you're one of those 2/3, you need to, or even if you don't work at one, you're competing against those people now, okay? Maybe your mall closed because they couldn't find a way to just restrict the mall to less than 100 people, so they closed the whole goddamn thing. Every state's going to handle things different. Every business are going to handle things differently. Restrictions are not going to be equal everywhere. Montana's so rural, maybe everything's open there, you know, whereas New York, everything's might be closed. The city that never sleeps might be asleep right now. There may be curfews in Los Angeles. We don't know what's coming. So jump on these things right now. And again, I'm Drew Andrews, I-D-R-E-W Andrews, okay, on Twitter. You can also find me on under Drew Andrews on Facebook. I don't really Instagram like that. You know, Instagram is more for personal use. For me personally, I don't use my Instagram like that. So hook up with me. Ask to hook up with me on LinkedIn. Ask to hook up with me on a couple of the business groups I'm in with Facebook. Follow me on Twitter, and we'll find a way to do business together. I'm available for private coaching. So are any of these two guys. It's best to get us in group coaching because you'll actually save yourself some money if you get group coaching from us. Don't forget to like this video, and I'm going to let Greg and Kent end with some parting words of wisdom, and I want them to shout out their branding as well.
Well, Kent, you go ahead.
Okay. Well, again, we had some. I hope that you guys listening tonight found some value in this. As we stated before, and will in future videos, we don't know where this thing is going to go. And it's best that you have, people say, you know, you got to have a plan B. I don't know what else to say. If you don't have a secondary income, whether it's a business or a second job, and I'm not all into the second job, that's a different thing. But you've got to have a backup income. And to me, the best investment for that would be to have your own home-based business. And with that said, again, I hope you have value. Shout out my brand, Robertson Unlimited. You can find me on Facebook. My Facebook business page is Robertson Unlimited. My Twitter handle is Maligant27. And my Instagram is RobertK17. Also didn't do my LinkedIn, but my LinkedIn is Kent Robertson. So I hope y'all have a good night. Greg, I appreciate you inviting me on this panel. Drew, always good to have your insight. Appreciate it.
Okay, thanks, you guys. With that being said, I am also on LinkedIn. I forgot to even mention that. I don't use LinkedIn that well. I should say I don't use LinkedIn. I use a software that when I post, it all goes out to all the different social medias. I'm a big proponent of leverage, okay? If anybody knows me that follows me on social media, I always talk about leverage because I got in this business not to have another job. I got in this business to have a lifestyle. I got in this business, like I said earlier, Scott Michael said, it is unnatural to be woken up by a alarm clock. He said, I
Amen.
got up. He said, I want to sleep till I'm done. And I took that to heart, you know, and some of you might not feel that way. That's fine. But that's where I'm at. That's one reason why I got involved with home-based business and all this stuff. Now, I'm going to leave something with you too. I belong to a group that has a training every Wednesday night. These are a group of people that started a platform, and I'll leave a link. I'll say the link out that I have. It is Gregory Smith Solutions.online. You can sign up for this training on Wednesday nights, 9 p.m. It's a free training. You get a lot of value on marketing, sales. And you can meet some contacts in the same thing, okay? The same way. So Gregory Smith Solutions.online. I will leave that in the comments. Also, with that being said, I hope you guys who are watching, I thank my panel, Drew Andrews, okay? Kent Roberson. This is Greg Smith. I hope you got value. Please share this video out to people you think that will get value. And I hope that everybody who's watching, this is a program I do I've been doing it for 4 years. It's called my Sunset Sunday program. I've been doing this program for 4 years. This is a special version of it. Probably the longest I've done.